Hi, I'm Alex for Teach Like This, and as the saying goes, two heads are better than one. Except when they're not. People everywhere know the benefits of group work. Coming together, collaborating, being creative together, brainstorming, these are all awesome things that end up with great products. At the same time, I'm sure every teacher has an example where they tried to implement a group work activity and it totally failed. Therefore, group work on its own isn't enough to get to those great levels of awesome products. In order to have productive group work, it's important to have the right circumstances in place for the group work to go well. As a student, I felt like there was three kinds of people in every group that I was in. The first group was the hard workers. They'd put in all the effort and take on all the responsibility in order to get a good final product. The second group was the people that were helpful, but they weren't doing any of the heavy mental lifting. And finally, there were the people that were just along for the ride and would put their name on the final product. When the final product was handed in, the teacher had no way to know whether each student understood the concepts or not. So in order to knock your next group work activity out of the park, embed these 5 elements into your activity, and I'm sure you'll be happy with the results. Number 1, positive interdependence. The group work activity needs to be designed so that every member is important. This activity can't be completed without contributions from every single member. By embedding this element, it says to each student that they are important and they need to contribute. You can do this by developing roles in which you assign or allow students to pick for themselves, or you can do this by dividing up resources unevenly. Each student will have their own piece of information that they need to learn. The second element to high-quality group work is face-to-face interaction. It's important to note that face-to-face interaction doesn't mean time to divide up the work separately and then each have a piece of the project to do. That is not what we're going for. What we're going for with face-to-face interaction is students collaborating and exchanging ideas. One way to ensure quality face-to-face interaction is by making every student accountable for every question. So when the groups tell out later, a teacher can ask any student any question and they need to be able to give the answer. The next element is individual and group accountability. Teachers should assign an individual and group grade for every assignment. In addition to just a grade, specific feedback is important. As teachers going around monitoring informally, providing feedback is one way, and then at the end, summative feedback after the whole project is done. Also, students can reflect on their contributions to the work and how everyone worked together. Quality group work also needs to work on interpersonal and small group skills. The ability to solve conflicts in a constructive manner, to communicate effectively, and to draw upon strengths in order to solve problems are skills that employers hold in high regard. It's important to teach and model asking for help and receiving help. This is often an undervalued and undertaught skill. Model and encourage students asking each other questions like, "Can I help you find the right page?" or "Can I give you a hand?" Then teach students to accept the help and it's okay. Additionally, ask questions if they get lost, like, "Can you help me? I'm a little bit lost." Teaching these skills will pay dividends throughout the year and throughout the students' lives. The final step of quality group work is group processing. Students need to know how to evaluate their group work. This step is often overlooked or rushed through in order to move on to the next topic. However, it's vital to successful group work in the future. You want to improve upon the good qualities that students learn during their group work, and you want to prevent students from making the same mistake twice. Good evaluation and good group processing will help you do just this. One additional and important element into group work is not from the students, but it's on you as a teacher. The most important part of any group work activity is the activity itself. When doing group work, it's much better to have a tough, hard, difficult task for students to complete than an easy one. When students are faced with a difficult problem, they need to use each other. When they have an easy task, the hard worker group members are going to find a way to take over the project and they're going to have it done before any good group work happens. That's all for this video. If you have any additional questions, you can
Created using Powtoon.